Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. We actually have two pro gamers playing on their actual IDs against each other. Something must have gone wrong. We have down here in the bottom right, SnOw, still the strongest Protoss versus Terran player out there, going up against Light in the top left. And as far as kind of like a big game macro Terran, still the best, although that style not paying off all that well in tournaments. He still outperforms every other Terran in most of like the pro leagues and stuff like that. But yeah, I did speak to this a little bit before, where I guess the short of it, I don't want to take up too much here of this early game, but the short of it is, you know, the kind of like more reactionary, big macro grindy type of way that Light plays is very, very good over a huge amount of games. Like if you're talking about, okay, we're playing customs all night, right? Like you're playing for 8 hours straight and you're doing all sorts of matches. That kind of grindy approach against a huge range of opponents is very, very good. And I think that most serious like macro players that are trying to like get long-term good look at that and say, okay, that's so strong. And that's a lot of the top players would consider that. But then you get into a tournament format where it's like best of one or best of three, and you have time to prepare and you have limited opponents. Suddenly a more aggressive, kind of like a slightly more risk-taking, dictate the flow of the game approach is going to undo your opponent's practice a bit and do really well for you. And so we see players like Sharp and like Speed really perform very, very well. Certainly in this last SSL season, we saw that, whereas a player like Light, you know, if someone's doing that against him, suddenly they're dictating the flow of the game, and like he might react perfectly and kill everything, and you know, as he does. But when you have less games to kind of prove how strong you are, I think that style does fall off a little bit. I'm actually really fascinated by this exact idea, and I've been talking about it more and more lately. I would love to hear what people think in the comments, so do leave me a comment below about that. Yeah, that's because it really, I just love thinking about StarCraft in new ways. And literally, I'm getting chills while I'm talking about this, and we're watching the most basic build orders you've ever seen. Has nothing to do with these builds, but like just that idea of like these different scenarios really reward different types of play. I love it. I love thinking about it. I love trying to figure out, okay, is this true? Is this real? It feels real. It feels true. So yeah, let me know in the comments below. Anyways, we have cross spawn. It's a factory expand by Light. I don't think he's going to go third depot. That's not his style. And we have SnOw over here in this cross spawn. He went Zealot first, and he's doing the probe Zealot scout. I actually think that this is one of the better openings for Protoss, so I'm not surprised to see, SnOw doing it. This is the opening that I talk about sometimes when we see things like Command Center first, where you will just die because this shows up and you didn't see a probe, or even a gasless expand with one depot. Like this shows up and you're like, oh no, and you can really get far behind from that. So notice SnOw pulls back immediately, and now he brings all this to bear. So in this particular circumstance, you just don't know that he has a Zealot. And like Light's not going to die here, but this is going to be tough to deal with. Oh, that was a good first hit too, because this here does not beat this. So he's targeting. Oh my God, this is going very badly for Light already. So he's going to kill the Zealot off. It's not the end of the world, but it's bad. It's really bad. And in fact, well, that's luckily not another Dragoon coming yet. SnOw does have that next about halfway done. And this barely started CC having a hard time. He brings out a lot of SCVs to battle, but SnOw's micro is top tier, top tier. So he's going to be able to continually deal some damage here. Light is trying to use some repair tactics. SnOw kind of running by. The second Dragoon coming could be a problem. But Light, if he body blocks well, like look at this. He's trying to reduce the shots that the Dragoon is taking. He's actually done very well. If you don't micro as well as Light did there, this Dragoon is at yellow health still. So now the tank comes down. He just needs to make sure he targets this if SnOw stays as quickly as he possibly can. And SnOw is just going to retreat, because once you see the tank, this doesn't make sense anymore. Like Light is going to be able to get you. Okay. So this follow-up is exactly what I would expect to see here. And this is the reactionary power of light. I don't think he planned to do exactly this build. Who knows exactly what he planned for, but because he already damaged a Dragoon very heavily and he killed a Zealot, to go Marines nonstop, 2 tanks, and then rally Vulture with mine, this is the best counter pressure available. This is a superb move if Protoss loses any units putting pressure on you, especially if they made a Zealot. That it works out really well, where when you get across the map, you actually have like a favorable army and they have to hide behind their wall a little bit and hope that you miss micro. So in this situation, I'm looking at this, it's hard to say because some Terrans will try to dive and some will sit back and be like, okay, I'm going to kill the wall. You can't really come out. And then maybe lay a couple mines. Maybe they poke the goons a little bit, but end up backing up. So like if you dive, and notice how he puts this other pile on there. He's saying, no, you have to kill part of the wall. You're not allowed to dive. So he's going to go ahead, target this observatory. And as you can see, laying the mines down, like if you lay the mines down, the goons can't come out. He has the observer, but the mines are each going to take 2 hits apiece. And look, he makes more. Dude, this is so good. This is so well handled. Oh, no. Oh, no. That was peak range from the mine. That's crazy that hit. It was the super red Dragoon that died, and it only took shields off the other guys, but it did kill a probe. So it's still, you know, the red Dragoon, you expect that's going to die at some point soon. But the probe going down is a little extra for light. Okay, so that was some good counter pressure from light. Getting the observatory, it's not nothing. It's not an expensive building. It doesn't take long to make, but it was good. Now he's on 4 gate, and he's making a shuttle. So the build has turned a bit wonky. I think the 4 gate happened. So, okay, these 3 gates is the push was coming and he decided, okay, 3 gate obs is the best at killing pushes. This is something you've seen me talk about a lot lately, especially with the Rich and DeWalt games that I've been casting, since both of them have been enjoying that build a lot. But yeah, if this happened to be like a quick 2 factory, that would have been the best play he could have done. It wasn't the quick 2 factory though. Now, Light comes up. He has the speed upgrade. He's putting some good pressure on. This is actually an excellently played game by Light so far. And just like he's trying to find a way in, and he doesn't quite get it. Like he lays the offensive mine. SnOw has to build another piece of a wall here, which is fine. It's not like that big of a deal. He's letting everything finish, which I think is fine as well, because eventually he'll just set his rally out here, and he won't have to really think about microing units through there. Looking at Light space, of course, his follow-up was not the fast second factory. He never really does. Well, sometimes he does, but when he goes like 2 factory, yeah, like every Terran does sometimes. I feel like when I see him do it, it's like probably more likely he has a starport on the map. He's doing actually more of a harassment kind of fake pressure build. But anyways, he did go for a very fast armory. As you can see, that +1 is 3/4 of the way done. Academy is done here. He's adding the additional factories. I actually think the meta is going to go more towards this type of play with 4, but we'll see if he adds a 5th. Okay. Yeah, he goes for that 5th. I do actually, even though he's done this, and he might actually even go for a 6 factory here. He might like what he's done so far this game and just try to go for a kill. But I do think, and maybe I'll talk about that later, or maybe we'll spot a game where it's a 4 factory, but I've been liking the idea and even the play of going 4 factories into the slightly faster 3rd in Terran versus Protoss right now. It feels like a very good middle ground. Okay, let's take a look. Worker count 51 to 52. That favors Light. Right now, SnOw is on 4 gateways. Templar Archives is there. He did not go Reaver Tech, even though he went Shuttle, which might surprise people. But because he had the 4 gateways, he couldn't realistically afford it. SnOw right now adding a lot of gates. So he's going up to 8 gateways right now. He might go to 10. The way this probe is sitting, he might go to 10. We'll keep an eye on that. But 8 gateways, Shuttle, and getting Zealot legs is going to be very, very good if Light pulls the trigger with this 6 factory. And 6 factory almost always pulls the trigger. It's a rare Terran that will go 6 factory and then just make a command center and turtle. But realistically, in this situation, in my opinion, that's the best play. So Light is going to come out with this 6 factory build. And again, like 5 factory is going to be able to expand just as well as 6. 6 is going to get this reaction out of Protoss for sure, and 5 normally does as well. But yeah, SnOw has like so many gateways, and notice how he's just trying to slow him down a little bit. He doesn't have the Reavers to do that with, but he's forcing sieges. There's so many PVTs I've casted where I'm like, you just have to force the sieges a few times to get Zealot Legs. Look at this. His Zealot Legs are on the way. He's trying to force sieges. There's leapfrogging. Light knows he has to go quick. He just needs to get here, and he's in a good spot. That's all he needs, is to get up here, build a couple turrets, great spot. He does have 2 glides. He does have 4 Marines, so it's very hard to fly a slow shuttle into this. This looks like a great game right now for Light. He has gotten up to this position. SnOw has tried to slow him down. Zealot Legs are not ready. It looks like he has some High Templars in here now, and Psystorm is almost done. Okay, a scan goes down, get rid of the Observer. I like that play. These goons going to be trapped by the mines over here. That's going to be very difficult to clear. Zealot Legs are just barely not done, and he's going forward. Okay, and he gets a Storm off there. No Zealot Legs still. This is a very tight push from Light. Should SnOw have attacked there before Zealot Legs? Because Zealot Legs are done now. I feel like that was a bit of an anti-timing. It might have been that he was trying to get in before this turret so that he could do the High Templars more easily. And it might have been that he thought Legs were going to finish right as he attacked too, because it was within seconds. But he gets the Zealots on top, and oh my god, is he still going to break it after losing that many units? No, not quite. Not quite. I honestly think if he had waited for Zealot Legs, he busts this. Like, you might have already left a comment about what you think about my analysis of tournament play versus like wide range of play. But like, leave a second one now and let me know what you think about the Zealot Legs, because that, like, seriously, he came so close to breaking it there. And now the vultures are absolutely everywhere. Mines are absolutely everywhere. Definitely some economic damage has been dealt. Better and better position, more mines, more missile turrets, all that good stuff for Light. It's looking pretty unbreakable. Going up to 10 gates now as well. Has a small group of Zealots over the side here. Light gonna try to aggro these, I guess you could say. If he can kill off this army before the bottom army attacks, it's gonna be fantastic. Ooh, that's a good mine drop right there, or mine drag rather. Very good one onto those tanks, but I don't think it's going to be enough. More Dragoons coming up. SnOw just such a master of engagements, really. Look at this. He's still very close to breaking this. I think it's just barely not going to happen again. Dude, he's getting it down to like 2 tanks multiple times. Multiple times. Now the tank setup. Okay, he is going to, I guess, kill these 2 tanks, but there's enough vultures and 2 more tanks coming up. He's going to be able to lay some mines here to stop reinforcements. He's going to be able to start barraging this area. I feel like killing the cannon with the tank is actually, that would be the superb play, because then the vultures can get right up and deal a ton of damage. We'll see what he targets, if anything. Yeah, it looks like he's specifically targeting down some probes. I don't think you can really go wrong with anything you do here, but yeah, I feel like the cannon is a very good kill. And yeah, kill a pylon at this point. Let your vultures get in. SnOw coming up to try to clear this out. He still has enough probes that maybe the game could be partially recoverable if he breaks this. But more units coming down from Light. It doesn't seem as if he's going to have enough. The vulture's doing a great job kind of body blocking those Dragoons out as well. Probes being pretty demolished as they get pulled out here. Does look like that Nexus will end up falling. Light, in the meantime, has his 3rd command center still on the way here. 6 factory. He's got 1-1. He's going into science facility. Doesn't seem like a position Light could ever lose to anybody. Well, if he were to lose to someone, it would probably be SnOw. But SnOw, once again, trying to bust out, trying to save this Nexus, just barely doesn't have enough. I think he's going to call it GG as the Nexus dies. There's just no point to play on 10 gate on 2 base. Just, you got nothing. There's nothing left. GG. Okay, let's just take a look at the bust, because he was doing a pretty good job slowing it. You know, he got into this 4 gate after the pressure. He took his 3rd pretty quickly, you know, cut off the production for a moment. And Where was this? Okay, so hold on. Let's back up just slightly from here. Okay, so he's slowing the push. We talked about that. He slowed the push some, slowed the push some. Let's look at Zealot Legs, okay? So Zealot Legs is about a third of the way done there. Good snipe. Clears the mines. Pulls into 2 directions. Good stuff. The push up. Okay, okay. He's going to engage before this turret finishes, if I recall correctly. Okay, here we go. Now, obviously, the longer you wait, light does set up a little bit better. Zealot Legs, look at how close it is. Look at how close those Zealot Legs are right now. So you have all these slow Zealots that walk in. Oh, not a great storm right there. And then more come out. And so that did terribly. It did so terribly. I think if he pulls back and he waits for legs and he gets this other group, he'll do much better. He did clear some stuff. It was really inefficient for SnOw, which maybe it's always going to be inefficient for SnOw. But look, seriously, he almost busts everything here with like a quarter the size of the army that he had before. And, you know, Terran armies scale a bit better than Protoss armies in this type of situation. But Zealot Legs is like the most important thing. And one more thing I want to check. Citadel finish time versus when he starts the legs. Okay, finishes 8:29. This is getting ridiculous. This is getting ridiculous. I'm so confused. How is this not started yet? This is getting embarrassing. Okay. Okay. A minute and almost 20 seconds. A minute and 17 seconds after the Citadel finished, he started Zealot Legs. Now, obviously, you see him sometimes drop. He never dropped below 150 gas. Sometimes he's dropping below 150 minerals. I can't stress enough how important Zealot Legs are. And I've made this prediction many times. I'm going to make it again, and I'm going to even put a date on it. Within the next year, every Protoss in this matchup, anytime Terran is going lots of factories, they will instantly start Zealot Legs. Because we have seen so many losses on this channel where it's like, if you had Zealot Legs, maybe you don't win right there, but the game goes on. So, yeah, this is something. It's just like non-optimization of build orders from Protoss. Yeah. Yeah. Tell me I'm wrong. I want to hear it. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.